Google has finally launched Street View for their Maps app in India, and it's the first time that the tech giant has done so globally by completely tying up with local partners. The company says the feature will help improve traffic congestion and road safety in India. The Tech Today team caught up with Miriam Daniel, VP Google Maps Experiences. Here's what she had to say about the big launch.
My first question, after I heard the entire introduction to Google Maps Street View, which is the new feature they've rolled out, is it real time or is it already recorded and that is what the viewer gets to see?
It is not real time. So what it is street imagery is captured through our partners, Genesis and Tech Mahindra, and it comes into the systems. And we then, make sure that it's of good quality, we extract the right information from it, and then we present it. So when somebody puts in an address or a place and you look at that Street View thumbnail, we show you the view. But it is as close to the real world that you can see, so it's an accurate representation of the world, but it's definitely not real time.
Which takes me to the next question. Is it going to be updated like every few months, every sometime? Because in a country like India, it's really not possible to go into each and every lane.
That's right.
It gets really tiny.
No,
so
this is a very, very smart question. Usually in the rest of the world, it's sometimes updated every couple of years, every year. It really depends on how much area you want to cover, and we might prioritize places where things are changing rapidly as well. Some places don't change a lot, but some places, roads change, construction happens, businesses come and go. So when we see that there's a lot of change, we might go and do that again.
So the sensors are mounted on atop a vehicle and then the vehicle is going around. So
that's right.
Areas where vehicles can't enter, like they're really tiny lanes.
Our partners are getting really creative. Right. They're actually mounting it on auto rickshaws. You can actually carry the camera with you on two-wheelers if you like. And I don't know if you followed Street View worldwide. There are people who backpack carrying these cameras into the remote parts of the world to get Street View as well. So it's really flexible. We have these cameras, and as long as they're capturing it at a certain level of fidelity, we can accurately represent the world.
And now let's take a look at the women who've added bling to their wealth this year. Yes, we're talking about India's women billionaires. And topping the charts is Roshni Nadar Malhotra of HCL Technologies with a wealth of 84,330 crore rupees. She's followed by Nykaa founder Falguni Nair, who's overtaken Biocon chief Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw for the second spot. Nair's net worth surged by a massive 963% to touch 57,520 crore rupees. The wealth of Mazumdar-Shaw, who's ranked third, dropped by 21% to 29,030 crore rupees. The numbers coming up on your screen. Do send in your queries and we'll take a select few every week, answered by our global business editor, Udayan Mukherjee. So our first viewer query today then, let's kick-start that conversation. Our first query today from Gopinath Deshpande in Navi Mumbai, and he's got a question around Nykaa. Let's listen it.
Hello Udayan. Taken Nykaa stocks about 4 months back and accumulated 60 shares at an average price of 1600 rupees. Today it is about 1400 rupees. Should I hold this stock or accumulate more or exit from the stocks? Please advise.
Well, among the digital companies, I think Nykaa is about the best you can buy in the listed universe right now. I mean, it's a very good franchise in the beauty and personal care segment. Of course, the stock has corrected very significantly from its all-time high of 2400, but that's in keeping with the rest of the digital space. You're losing about 10-12% from your purchase price as well. Nykaa has flirted with 1200, 1250 in the past, but always found a way to bounce back. But if the global correction, particularly in the Nasdaq, were to deepen, is there any guarantee that Nykaa will also not go down to triple digits, which is below 1,000 rupees? I don't know for sure, because there is no great valuation support for any of these companies, including Nykaa. Nykaa is good, it's profitable, but to value it on a PE multiple basis, I think even today the stock is trading at some 500 PE multiple. So, I mean, that is ridiculous. So, there is no metric with which you can value and say this is the price at which it has become very, very attractive. While volumes are growing very briskly in the BPC segment, Nykaa's EBITDA margins actually are no more than 6-7%. So at some point, the brands that they own themselves and don't trade, which is basically owned by other brands, Their owned brands are today about 10-11% of their overall sales, and their margins are higher. So when we see much higher contribution to sales coming from their owned brands, that is when the profitability metrics will increase, and we might get to a position where we can value Nykaa successfully on some kind of a profitability metric. Till then, you keep your fingers crossed and hope that the pedigree of the management and the quality of the franchise will ensure that the stock does not see very sharp downgrades even from here on. But hand on heart, I cannot say that if the global turmoil in the Nasdaq particularly were to intensify, you will not find Nykaa at even 1,000 rupees a share. It's quite possible. So be prepared for a volatile ride. You might choose to average at lower levels, but I don't think it's the kind of stock where you will get a lot of sleep at night with.